I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York.
All right, how we doing? Welcome back to another episode of the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast here on Facebook Live and YouTube. On tonight's show, we're going to be hitting on the Week 15 NFL preview, and we're also going to talk a little baseball. Winter meetings going down not far from my guest and I in Orlando, Florida. Got some big names on with me today. Good to see him back. My guy, Winter Haven, Florida, via upstate New York, Mr. Brett Bandick.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, buddy. Good to be back.
Oh, anytime. He's also going to be the hero for my little guy's birthday party on Sunday. So, this is nothing, man. Glad to have you back. Today's been a day of seeing like some faces I haven't seen in a while. Shouts out Zay Fetty. Got to see my guy Zay at the restaurant today. It was good seeing his face. And gonna get him and his brother on a near show. It would have been great to have his brother on tonight because his brother's actually a big Buffalo fan. Yeah, Zay and his brother. Zay and his brother both Buffalo fans, and that's definitely one of the headline games of the week as New England Patriots enjoying a pretty comfortable lead currently in the AFC East, closing in on a division title. It would be their first division title since Tom Brady's final year at the Razor. So that's definitely going to be a featured game this week, no question about it. Before we go full throttle into the NFL, though, Brett, some news in MLB. Pete Alonso, Edwin Diaz. A matter of 2 days, the New York Mets lose two staples, one of their bullpen and one huge power source. I mean, outside of Aaron Judge, I don't think there's a more accomplished power hitter in today's Major League Baseball from the right side of the plate than Pete Alonso. It's kind of weird because, I understand they spent big money on Juan Soto. They gave Lindor a decent deal. And, Pete was kind of like, I guess you could say the number three or at minimum the number two. But I just feel in this whole situation, the Mets didn't take keeping him serious at all and really undervaluing him. I mean, even last year, making him wait it out for a 1-year deal. I mean, no disrespect, but this is not Brett Gardner.
No, I 100% agree with that, dude. I mean, Zoe, he's a franchise guy, and I think the Mets did not handle his situation the way that it should have been handled. Diaz, I mean, that's a whole nother ball game. I mean, he's hurt. I can understand, that side of the baseball field, but getting rid of Zoe, great first baseman, on the defensive side, offensive side of the ball. I mean, he's dishing out 40 plus home runs. I don't like how the Mets handled that situation. I think they could have done a lot better with the talks and negotiations and everything, regarding that. But no, the Mets fucked up on that one, dude. I'm sorry. They fucked up. And Dorney, I mean, you can come at me all day long, baby. I'm ready. Come at me all day long. But, they didn't handle well, dude. And that's a franchise guy. Period.
I just think it's disrespectful because I could understand that certain teams were not willing to give him, say, a fourth year or even a fifth year, like the Orioles did. The Orioles basically were like, well, we never did replace Santander. We made the playoffs a couple of years in a row. Last year, they sucked between injuries, a depleted pitching staff, guys they lost in free agency. This is the Baltimore Orioles way of saying, yo, we're back. We're going to try to mix it up with the Blue Jays and the Yankees this year and the Red Sox because all three of them went to the playoffs.
Yep.
Tampa always puts out a more than respectable team, and they'll be back in the Trop this year, more in like comfortable confines for them. And, it's kind of wild to me that the Mets just don't have any value for this guy. I mean,
they set him off. They sent him off. Like no talks, no nothing, no negotiation. Period.
I mean, and I understand that there are, farmhands that are waiting in the wings that could ultimately make sense as to why they did this, and but I just feel that they didn't even make an effort, and I kind of got that vibe last year when Pete Alonso basically just didn't get any real respect from this club. It's rather shitty, truthfully, it's rather shitty. I don't understand how a guy that is the all-time home run leader in your franchise, breaking a franchise record held by Darryl Strawberry, I just don't understand how he's not. If you're going to lose him, you would think that he's earned the right to be fought for a little.
Are you more concerned with the way that they handle the situation, or are you more concerned with how Dorney's going to handle the situation?
I think Dorney is probably more pissed about Edwin Diaz, to be honest, because when you go out and get Devin Williams, now this is interesting. Devin Williams' career took a bad turn 2 years ago in the playoffs. He gives up that big home run to Pete Alonso. So Alonso's kind of like his baseball dad. And I just think it's funny how they signed Devin Williams. I'm like, oh, shit. They said, okay, you failed in the Bronx as the closer, but we're going to bring you to Queens. I'm thinking he's a complimentary piece to try to keep Diaz. Losing Diaz is what it is because nobody in today's MLB is going to outbid the Los Angeles Dodgers. The only way that somebody's going to choose somebody else over the Dodgers is if they literally don't want to play there or if they have other reasons. Nobody, and I mean nobody, could compete with the Dodgers' money. And so they lose Diaz to the Dodgers. But when the Baltimore Orioles and the Boston Red Sox are linked to your guy, I'll tell you this much. I'm happy he didn't go to Boston. I did not want the Yankees seeing him.
You talking about Zoe or Diaz?
No, I'm talking about Alonso. I'm happy that Pete Alonso did not go to Boston because I really think that that would have been worse for the Yankees than him going to Baltimore. I still expect him to have a massive year. I think he's going to crush in Camden Yards. And it's kind of cool to have Pete Alonso and Aaron Judge, who I consider the two best power hitters from the right-hand side. I think Judge is a cut above the rest, but both in the American League now and both in the American League East. So that's going to be fun.
I mean, is it cool, but do we really need it? No. We don't. Dude, I don't want Baltimore competing. Toronto's already in the mix. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need more.
Baltimore still has a lot of work to do with their pitching staff, and they've proven that they're willing to spend some money. So I believe, if anything, that's what they've proven today, that they're willing to spend some money. But I wouldn't be overly worried about them just yet. I mean, when I look at what the Boston Red Sox did last year, I think some of it might have been an aberration because they got hot. I don't think top to bottom their roster stands up to the Yankees or the Blue Jays. But the Yankees, the way I look at the Yankees, Cam Schlittler, beautiful postseason performances. Even in the game that we didn't get the best of Toronto, he pitched well, gave his team a chance to win. Garrett Cole will be back. Carlos Rodon coming off his best year in pinstripes. Max Fried had a hell of a year. Now you have to figure with the Yankees letting go of Weaver and the Yankees losing Williams to the Mets, they still have Duvall, they still have Bednar. They're going to want some more help in that pen. I'm curious to see if the Yankees put Luis Gil, because he has a lot of swing and miss shit, in the pen. That's something that I could potentially see going down.
Mm-hmm. Rich, I'm sorry to stop you for a second. Do you have Biggie and P. Diddy on your thing?
Yeah, I did a show on P. Diddy a couple of nights ago, and it just dawned on me that I still had that picture. That was my most recent show.
Yeah. Yeah, you still got that on there after, the 50 Cent documentary. I'm not sure, how I feel about that.
Well, that was the picture I used during the show. I wanted to show that you got to keep your friends close and your enemies just a little closer.
Yeah, a little closer.
Yeah, well,
Jesus Christ.
As you know with Diddy.
Why is he on your screen?
Biggie's on my screen. That's what that's about.
Yeah, I understand the Biggie part, but come on. What are you doing?
It's my most recent show. I turned the camera off for a second to kind of observe the view of the lake. But yeah, wrapping it up on baseball, just want to make one quick comment on the Yanks. It's imperative that the Yankees bring back Cody Bellinger. With the Mets losing Alonso and with Bellinger having such a versatility where he could play any outfield position as well as first base, he could be a solution for first now for the Mets. So the Yankees have to be careful that they don't lose another player to the Mets in consecutive years, because the Yankees have him coming back. He signed his qualifying offer, but the Yankee outfield will not be complete if they don't bring back Bellinger. And if they do bring back Bellinger, then you could possibly see a trade, maybe a Jason Dominguez or a Spencer Jones to go get some bullpen help or something else the Yankees need. I would love to see Anthony Volpe get packaged up somewhere because we could definitely upgrade it short. But we'll see how it goes. The Yankees, I think, are going to make a move. But the only thing I agree with the Mets on is that I wouldn't have given Pete 5 years like the O's did. But to not make him any kind of offer at all, to me, is just really disrespectful and just bad business. And that's why they will always be little brother as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I mean, the 5-year deal, yes, I get. But, he's put his worth in. I mean, it's a 3-year deal. I mean, that's kind of a shit on him. 5-year deal.
I think if they wanted to do right by him, give him a 3-year deal, up the money, and make year 4 a club option. If they gave him a decent amount of salary, I think he would have considered it, because at the end of the day, it's the team that he came up with, and it's not like he really wanted to leave. But when somebody's basically telling you, we don't want you, you got to move on with your baseball life. And, I'll be real with you, dude. Juan Soto, they gave all this money to. He makes more money than Ohtani. Yep. He's not a 5-tool player. He's great at drawing walks. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he didn't have an awesome year. He did. He led the NL in steals. It was a rough start. He put it together. But the end result is the Mets missed the playoffs. And it doesn't seem like him and Lindor really get along. So I don't exactly know what the frig the Mets are doing. Not that I'm that worried about it, but it's going to be fun and interesting because, whenever you have both New York teams being relevant, I mean, we were only 2 Mets victories away from having a Subway Series 2 years ago. So the Mets got to figure this shit out.
I wouldn't be too worried about what the Mets are going to do. We'll leave that to Dorney.
All right. And I will be attending 9/11 25th anniversary in the Bronx, Yankees and Mets. I will be attending that with Dorney. So that's going to be fun. Going to be a lot. What else is fun? Playoff football. It's around the corner, sir.
Yes,
The
sir.
Atlanta Falcons tomorrow night, or actually later tonight, this is a late show, at 3-9, traveling to Tampa, coming off a very disappointing loss to the lowly, and I mean lowly, New Orleans Saints.
Mm,
Um, Tampa's offense has been okay. It's the defense that has really let them down during
yeah.
this slump. And you know, they're starting to get healthy. There's an opportunity that they could have all their weapons back for this game. I know a lot of fantasy football heads are worried about whether or not Mike Evans is going to play. There should be final clarity probably midway through the afternoon tomorrow. But I
Mm,
will say this. If Evans does suit up tomorrow night, or tonight, I should say, um, he might be on a pitch count. So
yeah.
it's going to be tough because I know I'm playing you in round one of our league, but I actually have Mike Evans in another league that I'm in with John. So
Mm,
I too am monitoring this situation because I have T. Higgins in concussion protocol.
yeah.
So I kind of need Evans to suit up.
Well, Evans is going to suit up. It's just like you said, he's going to be on a pitch count.
Well, that's
Uh,
if he plays. It's not guaranteed yet. He's still listed
no,
as
it's not
questionable.
guaranteed. Now, if it was a Sunday game, I would like the chances to be better. But the fact that it's a Thursday night, short week, uh, yeah, I don't like those chances. And even if he is active, I'll be honest, I'm not going to start him.
It's
I
a tough
just
one for me because of the
it's a
simple
very tough
fact
one.
that
I mean, I'll see.
if Higgins doesn't play, I have no choice. If
Well, yeah,
Evans
but
suits up, I got to play him.
that's your roster.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to have Mike Evans on my roster. Um, but it's a short week. He's coming off injury. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I really don't. It's just I'm gonna play it by ear, see what happens. But you know, this is playoff time. And
Yeah.
if you put the wrong guy in at the wrong time, you know, you're
Oh,
you're you're not going to advance. So
yeah, we know how it goes. I mean, just to give the viewers a quick lead up to our fantasy game, and then we'll talk about the teams here. Bretzky's rolling with Bo Nix as his starting quarterback. I'll be rolling Justin Herbert. That could always be changed.
mm,
I don't have an ideal quarterback matchup this week because if this was any other week this year, Jacoby Brissett would be the guy to go. So I was number 4 in the league. Brett was number 2. We both got beat last week. Brett got knocked down a peg to 3, and I landed in the 6th spot. And I'm actually happy that this happened because Brett and I have never played in the playoffs in all the years that we've been in the Pops, Cheddar, and the Sun League. I was not in the league the original year when Brett made the finals and lost to Ryan Wags.
mm.
Finals the second year, lost to Jeff Blauert. More recent time, I've won 2 of the last 3, looking for essentially a dynasty. Brett named his team the Dynasty Killer. So I think it was meant for us to get down to
Oh,
business
100%.
and see where this takes us. But projections are going to be close. I expect Brett and I to have a pretty good fantasy game. I'm thinking one way or the other, whoever wins or loses is going to win by less than 10 or 11, in my genuine opinion.
Mm,
That's just how I see it going. If I do advance, actually, if Brett advances as well, whoever wins between Brett and I will be playing Jake.
mm.
So I kind of want that too.
I'm coming. Either way, we're coming. Either way.
Yeah. I'll put it to you like this: you haven't won this league yet. You've been close. So in the event that you edge me out, I will be pulling for you this year. But I'm gonna confidently say that I think Mike Zappi will be in the finals this year.
Mm.
Zappi really turned it on. He had a really good draft. he dealt with injuries, and now he's coming back around. So we'll see. But as the game goes, keys to victory for an upset for Atlanta, it goes without saying, you have to feed your horse Bijan Robinson. Tampa's defense has been playing piss poor for the better part of a month now. And I do believe that with getting some of these healthy guys back, it's going to just help the fluidity, because what happens is when you're missing guys, your offense sputters out on 3rd and longs. You don't have your go-to guys. Baker could only do so much. But even if Evans is essentially a decoy, having him on the field will be a plus. Kirk Cousins, I said it before, this is an audition, Bretsky, for his next employer, because Kirk's not getting any younger. Idris and I on previous shows, as well as Shed, all agreed that the Minnesota Vikings would be the perfect place for Kirk Cousins to go, with Carson Wentz getting hurt and not really having a backup plan for J.J. McCarthy. I think they missed an opportunity there. Yep. But I just don't see Tampa losing 2 in a row at home after being embarrassed last week and letting a bad Saints team get a win. But, you could run on Tampa right now. Tampa is not as sturdy as they usually are against the run. So if I'm Atlanta, I'm going hard on Bijan, seeing if he can if you can win those matchups. And if you could, Kirk Cousins might be able to play his game. But I still like Tampa here. I think it's going to be close. Not too close, but close enough. Give me Tampa 27. Give me the Atlanta Falcons 19. An 8-point victory for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I do think Atlanta will compete.
No, and I think Atlanta is going to compete. It's a bit chilly down here.
Yes, it is.
State of Florida. That's not going to matter. It really just depends on what Mike Evans, he comes in the picture. Chris Otten, I think Bucky Irvin is getting healthier. I think his game.
Yeah, Cade Otten's been ruled out, to my understanding. He ain't playing, but Bucky Irving, Otten might not be a ghost week. I think he's out, but I'll tell you, Irving looked really good after missing all those weeks. He looked very good, and so I think Bucky Irving plays a big part here. And although Bijan is the popular answer, he might be the running back of the day.
The thing is, and a lot, the Tampa 1-2 run offense versus, the Atlanta 1-2 run offense, they're very similar.
They are. This has the makings of a close game.
Between Bucky and White, and then you got Bijan and Algier, they're identical. And, it really comes down to, what Baker can do. I think Kirk Cousins he'll make those throws, because you already pointed out that the Tampa defense has not stepped up.
Particularly their secondary has been disappointing.
I think their secondary is really hurting.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Atlanta is this could be an overtime game in Tampa. It wouldn't surprise me if it happens. Oh man, I hate to do it, man. I hate to do it. I'm going to go Atlanta.
Ooh.
I'm going Atlanta for the upset. I think Pitts is playing a lot better. Mooney knows Kirk Cousins, Bijan, Algier. The offense they're ready. They're ready to put up a 40 burger on this team.
Oh, you're bugging.
Oh no, I'm not bugging. I'm not bugging.
I can't see it. I can't see it if Tampa didn't get beat last week. I could see Atlanta squeaking one, but I don't see them putting up that kind of offensive destruction on them.
Listen, Baker's still hurt. Baker's going to do what he can do. He's still hurt. He's very hurt. Kirk Cousins is healthy.
Yeah.
Baker is still very hurt, dude. And
they are missing Drake London's not a go here, so I do still like Tampa.
Oh, is he out?
Yeah, he ain't playing.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
And they're 3-9 for a reason.
I know, but I didn't. Yeah, I didn't know Drink London was out. Ah, shit. All right, I'm gonna have to switch it then.
All right. You taking Tampa with me. What's your final?
30-27.
Okay.
30-27 Tampa.
All right. All right.
Sorry, kids just got home.
Sorry.
What do you?
Oh,
Hold on. Apparently, they can't figure out a fucking doorknob.
is that Dory?
Yeah, that's Dory.
Of course it is.
Hello, children.
Hello.
What was that?
I had to pee so bad.
Oh, you had to pee. Okay, my bad. There we go.
All right. Carolina, we're going to keep it in the South here. Carolina Panthers making the trip to the Big Easy, taking on the Saints. The Saints who just beat the Buccaneers. Revenge is on the mind of the Panthers, who lost the first game against the Saints this year, just a couple of weeks ago. Panthers are coming off their best game of the year, though, beating the mighty Los Angeles Rams, who I believe are the best team in professional football right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's a weird one when it comes to that backfield with Carolina, because it's kind of like a week-to-week thing, but some people feel that Chuba Hubbard might be getting just on that 50 percentile with Dowdell, where Chuba might be the guy that comes through and gets more action.
Mm-hmm.
And now, once again, that could affect you too. You are an owner of Rico Dowdle, so it's an interesting one to say the least. Tyler Shuck, I don't have the highest opinion of him. I know that people are going to make a lot of explosions about anything that any rookie does immediately. Look no further than Shador Sanders. I think this is payback in a big way. Carolina is the best team in the NFC South right now. And it's not just because of Tampa's issues. I think Carolina has closed the gap on Tampa, but more so, I think Carolina, if they win this division, has a more credible chance to actually do something with that position, whereas I think Tampa would be a one and done. I think that they're going to be pissed off about what happened a couple weeks back. They're coming off the bye week, which is a good thing for them. Head coach candidate of the year they have going on there. The excitement is real in Carolina. They get the road dub in the Big Easy. Give me the Carolina Panthers 27, Orleans Saints 13. Alvin Kamara, we do not know if he's going to be playing. It might be Devin Neal again. Devin Neal will play a respectable game, but I got Shuck throwing like Tyler throws 2 picks. One of them gets taken to the house by Mike Jackson. Make it happen again, baby. He's going to moonwalk that bitch in the end zone. Carolina by 14.
Wow. No, I like Carolina on this. There's one name you didn't mention. Bryce Young.
Yeah.
That kid is he's making steps.
He basically switched positions with CJ Stroud now.
I think he's this year in particular, I think he's matured a little more. He's making better decisions. He's just playing better ball, period.
I could see that.
And he's a better game manager this year. I don't know what the frig happened, but he's managing the game a lot better. But between Dowdell, yeah, I like this Carolina team, man. They got a lot of fight in them. And they know they're in the hunt for the NFC South Division. So I'm taking Carolina all day in this one. I'm going to say 30-16.
30-16 in favor of Carolina?
30-16 in favor of Carolina. 100%.
All right, I'm with it. I'm with it.
Hmm?
I'm with it. Yeah, I definitely agree that Carolina should not have much resistance, much problems winning this ball game. I'm with you on that.
I mean, it might be one of those trap games. I don't know, but I'm not going to take I won't do it this week. I mean, do you consider it a trap game? Yeah, it could be, but I'm not. I don't trust New Orleans.
I got a better picture here now. This is from the backstage era.
Backstage.
Yeah, you're in that picture with about 30 other people.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's an old one.
It's an oldie.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Philadelphia Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champions, looking more like the 2023 version that imploded. Whenever you see the Raiders on your schedule, unless if it's week one, because they did beat you in week one, which seems like another lifetime ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. But like you said, week one, anything can happen. Nobody cares about that now. Whenever you see the Raiders on your schedule, naturally you think it's a get-right game. And this should be a get-right game for the Eagles. Saquon Barkley has only had one signature game this whole season, and it came against the New York Football Giants. He did bust a big run in SoFi, which actually gave John the win against you because you were going to beat him prior to that play. But no, this is a week that the Eagles finally get things going. But I would not get too excited if I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan because I think this is smoke and mirrors. The Eagles' offense is broken, and a big part because Nick Sirianni has been too stubborn to replace their OC. Their OC has got to go. O-line hasn't been blocking, and Saquon, truthfully, isn't the same player he was a year ago. And I'm not saying that Saquon put his body through an awful lot last year to go for 2K. He got paid. So when you get paid like that, you have more liberty to put your body on the line a little more. AJ Brown, a lot of controversy this year in general as he's been pissed off that he's not getting the football. But the biggest problem with this team right now is the quarterback. Because as crazy as this might sound, this is only a team that's 1 year removed from this guy winning the Super Bowl MVP. And he did earn that MVP in that game. But Jalen Hurts, without Kellen Moore, looks completely lost. Last time I saw Jalen play that shitty, it was on Michael Strahan Day when he threw 5 picks against my New York Giants. I don't think I have ever in the history, I've seen guys pick off passes and fumble. It actually involved the Chargers, and it was the reason why they didn't win the Super Bowl way back in 2006. Because if they would have won that game against your Patriots, not a doubt in my mind that they would have won the Super Bowl. They would have beat the Colts, and they would have went on to win the Super Bowl. But I've seen that shit happen where a defender picks a ball off and then fumbles or something weird happens. But to throw an interception, recover the fumble, and then fumble yourself, that is like Little Giants type shit.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
That is like, what?
I loved it. I
loved it too. But I'm like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm like, these are the world champions? Bro, a lot changes in a year.
Yeah.
My team whipped them. That's the last time we actually won a game, given the nightmare scenario of all the injuries we've been through. My bottom line here with the Eagles is this is a quarterback-driven league. Yeah, your defense is good. I'll give you that. But when your quarterback is not playing well, and now it looks like they're losing their touch with winning these close, ugly, grinded-out games, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to hold off Dallas. I really mean that. They'll win this game. They will. But I'm not convinced that they don't have one more hiccup coming up. And I'll tell you where that hiccup's going to happen. Western New York at the Buffalo Bills. That's the game where the Eagles get their doors blown off and the Cowboys steal this division
They might.
and continue the streak of 20 plus years that the NFC East has not had a back-to-back division winner.
Yeah. Man, you hit on all the points. It's kind of hard for me to rebuttal that because I completely agree with everything that you say.
It's okay. It's okay to agree sometimes.
I know, but I don't like to agree too much.
This one's hard to ignore.
It is, but is it really a get-right game?
I mean, a win's a win at this juncture of the year.
I get it. A win's a win. But you're going against one of the worst teams in the fucking league. Well, they have 2 wins all year.
Yeah, and one of them was week 1.
Yeah, against my
I don't
team.
even remember their other win, if I'm being completely honest with you.
And it's just AJ Brown, he's a cancer. And I get the struggle Saquon is having. The offensive line is not providing. The OC is not making the right calls. Jalen's not making the right decisions. I mean,
I feel like Saquon is a bigger threat in the passing game.
He is,
and truthfully, he hasn't been a bigger threat in the passing game since his rookie year of 2018, when Eli Manning became Captain Checkdown.
Yeah,
I love Eli, I do, but the O-line was so bad when we drafted Saquon that that's all Eli was able to do.
Yeah, but the thing is, that was Saquon's one of his best years he had, his rookie season.
Second best season of his career.
Yeah.
The best season's obviously last year.
Rookie offensive line.
I was in the building. For his very first game. And it was really cool to see his first professional touchdown against the Jaguars.
Alexia, you want to be on the show?
Homecoming got a bomb threat tonight.
A bomb threat?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm. One of the new hosts, one of the new ones, the super sweet one, she was on the phone for like 20 minutes and was like,
sorry,
I got a delivery, the package for Kevin, blah, 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 for tomorrow. But this guy called in 2 bomb threats. And Matt and all the cops had to come down. And then 8 Disney security guards on top of that. They literally took her for an hour and a half.
It sounds like a fun night.
A witness and incident. It was crazy.
Okay.
And then Alex says hi. He actually said, "Tell Big Brett I said hello."
I'm sorry you had a shitty night, baby.
I mean, I had a fine night. My night was fine.
Yeah.
But Hermione's was less fine.
Talk about it in the morning.
All right, love you.
Love you.
Wow, that sounds like we might be more interest going on with that than this.
Yeah. Bomb threat, Disney Springs goes a long way.
I'm not supposed to tell anyone.
But you said it.
Well, Brett, it's also okay to mute the mic once in a while, but that's okay.
Yeah, but I didn't think she was going to come up with a bomb threat.
Neither did I. Well, It wasn't her that did it. At least I don't think so. If not, then
no, it wasn't.
Maybe we go viral. Okay. For the final, give me the Philadelphia Eagles winning large here. Like I said, smoke and mirrors. Eagles 34, Raiders 20. The Raider touchdown is going to be very late. No, they're not going to. No. 30-13 in favor of Philly. 30-13. Geno Smith's also probably not playing. Not that it matters because he's been playing like pure turd.
Yeah. 36-17 Philly.
All right. The Washington Commanders make the trip to East Rutherford, New Jersey. What a difference a year makes yet again. Just a year ago, the Washington Commanders were playing in the NFC title game. They knocked out the Detroit Lions, who were the 1 seed. They got their doors blown off by Philly, and they haven't been right since that game. Jaden Daniels has missed all kinds of time this year. As the New York Giants go, their quarterback's healthy, but they're missing Cam Scatterbo. They're missing, obviously, Malik Neighbors, who got hurt in the first month of the season. It's been a very frustrating year for Giant fans because the Giants have just blown fourth quarter lead after fourth quarter lead.
Mhm.
On a bright spot, something that I haven't been able to say as long as I've been doing this podcast, over the course of the last couple of weeks, the New York Giants have been ranked 10th best O-line in the National Football League, in large part to their two tackles, Andrew Thomas and Jermaine Illuminor. It's actually quite encouraging that the Giants O-line problems seem to be a thing of the past. They have issues, but the issue is not the O-line finally. They could run the ball, and even without Scat, they've been getting good contributions from both Tyrone Tracy as well as Devin Singletary. Giants are currently in the one spot. Of course, I want the one pick, but as Wellington Mara said, nothing made me more happier than seeing my Giants kick the shit out of the Washington Redskins. They are now the Commanders. I don't care if they're the Foreskins, the Hogs, the football team, wherever you want to call them. The team from the nation's capital is going down this week. And I actually think the Giants are going to play 4 quarters of football, or at least enough to look like they did it. But once again, smoke and mirrors. They're only playing the Commanders. No team has beaten the Commanders more than the New York Giants, and the New York Giants will add another feather in that category. Give me the New York Giants by a final of 30-17. I have a Marcus Mariota pick 6, enhancing that 30 burger. Giants will score 30 this week. It doesn't mean anything. It's just for pride. We will not be in the one spot after this week.
Okay. I'm on the other end on this one. Yes, Zach Ertz is done for this season, which is brutal to watch, by the way.
It was a shitty hit. It was a shitty hit.
It was a shitty hit. He deserved that. He was having a good ball game and good season. Jane Daniels is the new RG3 squared.
Well, if they keep putting him in these terrible positions, yeah, you're right. He's going to be.
Oh, yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. But Mariota, he's been playing well.
Really bad.
Really well. And I think with Debo, Scary Terry back, they got a shot, dude. I mean, yeah. You mentioned your offensive line, but your secondary is not really played up to par. I think Washington will put that into play. It's going to be close, dude. I think it's going to come down to the last 6-7 minutes of the ball game. I think Washington's going to come out with a dub here. I'm going to say 23, low scoring, really low scoring. 23-17 Washington.
All right, we'll see how it plays out. I certainly won't cry if we lose. I like our quarterback more than theirs. I think Jackson Dart has a nice game. Buffalo Bill, and this team did get beat 31-0, just saying, to the Minnesota Vikings.
I know.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Buffalo Bills making the trip to the Razor. 9-4 are the Bills, the perennial favorites to win the AFC coming into the season. They're having a decent year, but things have not gone to plan. It was entertaining last week to see Allen and Burrow have that shootout. But this game is, in my opinion, not about the division, because no matter how you slice it, I think there's a strong possibility that this is game 2 of 3. I think that you guys might face each other in a third game in the playoffs. I think this has more to do with Buffalo getting back some of their mojo. They have run this division pretty much since Brady left for Tampa. They did have a playoff meeting when Mac Jones lost to Josh Allen. That was one of Bill Belichick's finer coaching jobs. Right now, what Mike Vrabel's doing, just a sensational coaching job. I mean, I watched that Monday night game, the ass whooping that you guys put on my team. And all I could say to myself is, I haven't seen the Patriots make those kind of hits, that kind of violence, and almost have like that little bit of swag. You got to go back defensively, I'm talking about. You got to go back to the first part of your dynasty. I'm talking
Bro,
like
they didn't
01 to
have a
like
swag,
04.
bro. They didn't have a swag. They had a fucking edge. Like, don't throw the ball this way. We're coming at you.
Yeah.
You know, like, don't run the ball this way. We're coming at you.
Even the touchdown that we scored, Darius Slayton had to go through hell to get in the end zone.
Yeah.
And I thought Jackson Dart did his best. I'll be honest with you. If that botched field goal doesn't happen, I actually and of course that special teams blunder where you took it to the house. Giants were competing early, but it was
Mhm.
just evident that it was the Patriots' night from jump. And the reality is, out of 13 games, it's been the Patriots' night 11 times. That's something to be proud of. I personally think the Patriots are a year ahead of schedule. This is one of those weird ones. Not even so much this game, but I've said on the show recently that Buffalo's usually chasing the Chiefs. They don't have to worry about them this year, it looks like.
Mhm.
AFC's wide open, but Buffalo does have the most tenure, the most experience in these playoffs moving
do.
forward. So
They do.
I don't necessarily think being a wild card and playing a familiar foe is going to freak them out or anything like that. I mean, I've seen Josh Allen play some of his best games even when losing. As this game goes, you guys have a two-headed monster. Henderson's the real monster. Ramondre's a contributor. Christian Gonzalez, really, really good football player. I like your front seven an awful lot. If you guys could make James Cook get frustrated, his typical James Cook kind of game. I own him in fantasy, by the way, another tidbit. Then we could be in for a situation where Josh Allen is forced to do a lot. On the other side of the ball, Buffalo's defense needs to step up. We saw them get carved by a very talented Bengals offense, and a lot of teams get carved up by a team like that. I don't necessarily think New England's going to carve anybody up, but I do think that what could happen here is that you're going to get a battle of wills, similar to what we saw in that Blizzard game a few years back, where Belichick ran it like 56 times or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
I am going for a different outcome, however. I think that the Bills need this game more, and not because of the division. Like I said, you guys have a better division record, so a loss here doesn't really mess you up that bad, unless if you lost another division game. And I don't see that happening. If the Patriots lose this game, to be quite honest, this might be the last game the Patriots lose this regular season. I think it's going to be a little more low scoring than people anticipate. I'm going mid-20s here. Give me the Buffalo Bills by a score of 26-24. The reason why it's not 27, I have Matt Prater missing an extra point, and I have the New England Patriots missing a potential game-winning field goal by Borregales. He's also on my team. I'm going with Chris Boswell this week. But if the Patriots were to win, it wouldn't shock me. I just think that Buffalo really, really needs this game. And while it's always debatable on who the best quarterback in professional football is, yes, Stafford might win the MVP this year, and Mahomes has all the hardware. But I still think Josh Allen is the best quarterback in professional football. He's the reigning MVP. And I don't think anybody does more for their team than he does. And sometimes it's almost unfair. It's similar to what Dan Marino had to do for so many years. But big players show up for big games and statement games. New England Patriots got a damn good team right now. And in the end, they might go further than Buffalo. But on this day, I'm taking the boys from Western New York.
Well, I like your thinking, but I'm not going with it.
I didn't think you would.
No, I'm sticking with my prediction. I had this talk with the old man before I called you. About the Buffalo Patriots game. He's pumped, by the way. He's absolutely pumped for this game.
Oh, it's gonna be a good one.
And I'm probably gonna send him, the link after we have this. But no, he's all about Buffalo. I get it. I don't know how many times we've had this talk about, the team putting all that shit on Josh Allen's shoulders. The guy does way too much for this team, and he's built for it, but at the same time, if you can stop Josh Allen, you can stop this Buffalo team from winning. And
Well, we saw Houston do it.
And the
They
Patriots
didn't completely stop them, but they got some.
No, they stopped them, but the Patriots know that. If Josh Allen has a bad game, the whole team has a bad game.
Well, yeah, he is that important.
He is that important. But the Patriots know it. The Texans know it. It's just it sucks. I hate to see it because I love watching Josh Allen play. I think he's a genuine good human being. I think he's a great freaking ball player. He cares about the game. He cares about the people around him. And it sucks that I have to root against this guy. It really does, because I love watching him play. But this week is not going to be his week. He's going to Foxborough. I think our secondary is going to eat him alive. I think Gonzalez is going to be a shutdown corner that we all expect him to be. We're going to run the ball down their throats, make those third down conversions. And I think the first half, I think it'll be pretty close, but I think going in late fourth quarter, I think we're going to run the ball down the throats and just kill them.
Well, I think that's the key to beat the Bills is that you got to get into that second layer of their defense because their linebackers are not as versatile as they used to be.
They're not. And we're healthy on the offensive side of the ball. The only, sucks to say it, but Will Campbell, sucks that he's out. That might be your best advantage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But other than that, I think we're gonna smack them in Foxborough.
Well, this is an interesting caveat. The Patriots have a better road record, but are vying for the number one seed, which means the road would go through Gillette. And it's not like they're bad at home. It's their losses occurred.
The two losses that they have are at home.
And they happened in the month of September, which is a long time ago. No, the weather. The one thing about this game too is that the weather doesn't affect either one of them because they both are used to that shit.
No, neither one. Yeah, elements won't matter in this game.
It's gonna be a good one.
No, I'm taking the Pats 35-23.
Ooh, 12-point victory.
Yes, sir.
5 touchdowns.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see how it plays out. The Jets and the Jaguars, I'm glad I don't have to say much. Rookie Liam Cohn, the head coach, he may be a candidate for coach of the year. Aaron Glenn, I think he's one to respect. I think he's doing his absolute best to get the Jets back to respectability. They have been playing a little better prior to last week. Last week they got shellacked by the Dolphins, which kind of surprised me because I expected a little more fight from the Jets considering that it was a home game. The Jaguars right now catching a huge break with the Daniel Jones injury, and they whooped the Indianapolis Colts and took full advantage. Okay. You have Phillip Rivers coming out of retirement for Indy, so we're going to speak on them in a second. And you got the Houston offense that still doesn't have it all together. Nick Chubb is not who he used to be. We don't know if Marks is going to be healthy to play this week. Dar might be the guy in there, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that man's last name. But as this game goes, I expect kind of a boring game, but I think Jacksonville's defense will keep the Jets out of the end zone for the duration. Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars by a score of 24-9. Not their best game, not their most crisp game, but good enough to win on the road and good enough to continue to stay in first place for now.
Oh, you're going to love this. You're going to love this. Jacksonville loses at home. They don't play well at home. This is
My apologies. This game is in Jacksonville. For some reason, I was thinking about last week with the Miami game. This game is in Duval. My apologies.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. In Duval, they're going to lose. Trap game for the Jaguars. I'm predicting the Jets to upset them 20-16 on the road. Jets victory.
No friggin' way. The Jets are toast.
I'm doing it.
We have a week 1 rematch.
I'm sorry. I don't trust Jacksonville. I've never trusted Trevor Lawrence. I've never trusted their coaching. I've never trusted them winning at home. Why?
Well, they haven't been that bad at home this year.
This year.
Yeah.
But it's going to come back. It's going to come back. I'm telling you.
They whipped the Colts last week in that same building. And of all the teams that's going to make them look bad at home, it's going to be the Jets.
Yep.
You trust what the Jets have going right now more than what the Jaguars have going? I
don't trust anything the Jaguars have going. I'm sorry. I don't. I never have. I never will. I'm sorry. I don't trust them.
I'll tell you what I don't trust is that in the AFC Championship game back in the 17th season, I think New England brought a few of their own refs, but that's another story for another day.
Well,
we're going to move it along.
Hey,
I'm speaking on behalf of all the people in Duval.
Give me a second. I got to pee.
All right. Let me see if there's something I could speak about in between here. We're going to wait for Brett for a second. I will say this. Through this juncture of the year, I know it's a week-to-week kind of situation when it comes to who I think is the most powerful team in each conference. But right now, if I had to say that's my Super Bowl, it would either be the Rams and the Patriots or the Packers and the Patriots. I truly believe, or maybe the Broncos. I think that's the AFC and NFC title games as of the way things look right now. And what's funny about that is I did pick the Buffalo Bills and the Broncos. So if that whole third meeting were to occur with the NFC East rivals, Buffalo and New England, maybe my Final Four in the NFL does come to fruition. The Packers, a lot of peaks and valleys this year. I think the Rams have been super consistent. You know, each and every one of their losses were games they could have won. I guess you could say the same thing about the Packers. The Packers certainly did not get blown out in any game this year. They have a tie to Dallas. They lost a close one to Cleveland. They lost a close one to the Philadelphia Eagles. And they lost a close one to Carolina. So if the Patriots are to slip on the banana peel, then perhaps my championship weekend predictions going all the way back to the NFL preview, the original preview and my final thoughts on the season, then yeah, it very well could go down like that. So we'll see how it plays out. Yeah, definitely an exciting time in the NFL. It's an exciting time for fantasy football players too. You know, I've been 5 leagues. I made the playoffs in 4 of them. And I'm looking forward to playing this guy. We're going to be at my son's birthday party that day, but, you know, we're going to be keeping tabs. I'm going to probably, you know, log into my YouTube TV account while we're hanging out for my kid's birthday. So, yeah, it should be good. Brett, while you were gone, I was basically saying that going into the season, I predicted Green Bay and the Rams in the NFC, and I predicted Buffalo and Denver in the AFC. Now, I said that if I had to pick who's the best team in each conference, I would say the Rams and the Patriots, with the Packers playing a close second, Broncos playing a close second. So it's kind of interesting because the Broncos play the Packers this week as well. So, you know, a lot of this could be decided. But, you know, I mentioned in the previous segment there that a third game between the Patriots and the Bills could potentially mean a Buffalo upset. And if that happened, then maybe my Final Four does come to fruition. We'll see. But the one thing missing from the AFC, go ahead.
I mean, it's hard to beat a team 3 times.
No, it certainly is, which is all the more reason why, if I was you, I wouldn't be too moved in a negative way if you guys don't beat them this week.
Well, no, it's not that. I mean, Philly has done it to the Giants numerous times.
Once, buddy, once.
I'm not too worried about that.
Once. It happened once. And the year was 2022. We did it to them 22 years before that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, listen, 2000. I mean, the year we lost to the Ravens. We beat the Eagles 3 times that year.
This season is, I mean, it's been crazy. I think KC is out. I think they're done. They're toast. Dallas still has a shot, even with that tie.
The tie is going to help them.
Bengals still have a shot, which is mind-boggling.
That loss last week, I think, sealed them up.
I don't know. I don't know if it did.
That was loss number 9. Pittsburgh still got Nah, they're done. Pittsburgh's got 6 losses. Pittsburgh would have to really go backwards, and they just beat Baltimore.
They could. They absolutely could. I don't trust Pittsburgh.
I don't trust any of them, but I'm just going by how much time's left and what the standings say. Pittsburgh would have to completely lose out. The Bengals would have to win out. There's too many things that need to happen. I can see the Bengals beating the Ravens this week, but I don't see Pittsburgh losing to Miami in Pittsburgh. That I don't see.
Oh, man. Miami's playing Pittsburgh. We didn't go over that one.
Yeah, we're getting there. Los Angeles Chargers at the Kansas City Chiefs. You just said the Chiefs are toast. I'm going to beg to differ on this one. While I still don't think they'll make the playoffs, Brett, do you remember a conversation we had about 3.5-4 months ago, opening night for the Chiefs when they got beaten Brazil? And I was raving about this Charger team, and I was like, man, I know it's just one game, but I think the Chiefs really lost a lot. And I don't think they're going to. And, you gave me the standard answer. It's only week 1 and da-da-da. And you're right. It only was week 1. But here we are in week 15. And the Chiefs have a losing record. The first time they've had a losing record since the 2012 season. That's the year you got married, bro. That's the last time the Chiefs have had a losing record at this juncture of the year. Just to put it in perspective. And just to put it in perspective yet again, just to put a timetable on how long ago this shit was, the New York Giants were the defending Super Bowl champions that year. This is a long time ago. This is a long time ago. Because you know how many times the Giants have made the playoffs since that epic Super Bowl? Twice.
Yeah.
Twice. Yeah, thinking a downturn for sure. As this game goes, though, Justin Herbert, I mean, it was gutsy what he was able to do, and I give him all the credit. But I'm a little concerned about that hand. I'm a little concerned about that Charger offense hitting on all cylinders. I mean, I get it. Philly has a really good defense. But going into Arrowhead against the 3-time consecutive defending AFC champion, they won 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls. They made all 3 of the last Super Bowls. I still think the Chiefs are not going to the playoffs. But LA in Arrowhead, statement game, I got to take the team with the experience here. And it's not like the Chiefs have been getting their doors blown off. They've been getting out-muscled and out-physicaled by teams that are a little less mileage on them. But with the Herbert situation right now, I think we're in for a low-scoring affair. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs by a score of 23-20. Harrison Butker kicks them to victory. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be a low-scoring game. I expect both defenses to show out. And I think the unsung hero of this game is going to be Kareem Hunt. I still think the Chargers probably playoff bound. But I think the Chiefs have one last stand here.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to see the Chiefs losing at home.
Well, we've seen them lose. Yeah, we've seen them lose at home a little more this year than we're used to. I mean, the Eagles got them in Arrowhead.
Yeah, but not 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Keenan Allen's been
I just
disappearing. I haven't seen him do anything for a while.
yeah, man. After the ass kicking the Chiefs took last week,
Yeah, it was a physical ass kicking, but it wasn't a points ass kicking. They were in the game.
no, it wasn't a points ass kicking. It was definitely a statement.
No question about it. It was a
Yeah,
physical beating that they went through.
yeah. Kelsey got beat up. Rice got beat up. I mean, he got whacked real hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that meme? Did you see that meme about the Rice hit?
No, I didn't see that one.
Now Rasheed Rice knows what it's like to get hit unexpectedly and the offender leave the scene.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was a little reference to his vehicular shit.
A little blow.
Yeah, a little blow.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't see KC losing at home 2 weeks in a row. I think it'll be a close matchup. I think you're right. I think Kareem Hunt will make his mark on the game.
I think Kelsey has a bounce back too.
I think Kelsey is going to have a bounce back game because that look on his face on the bench, this utter defeat on his face. I don't see that happening this week. I think he pulls back. And I love the Kelsey brothers, and I love their podcast. I love what they do. I got to root for the guy. I got to root for him. As much as I hate the Chiefs, I got to root for the guy.
Oh, I ain't rooting for him like that.
Yeah, but it's just it's different. I don't know. I have a different feeling about him. Yeah, he's banging Taylor Swift. It is what it is. But at the same time, man, when he sat on a bench last week and I saw that just look of defeat on a guy, I don't want to see that in any human being. I'm actually, like I said, I'm hoping the guy comes back. I think he's gonna have a good game.
I'd love to see the Chargers win this game. I just don't think they are.
I don't think they will either.
And another thing too, part of the reason why I'm happy that the Chiefs look like they're trending towards missing the playoffs is because Steve Spagnuolo is a hot coaching candidate, and it makes it more possible for the Giants to hire him because part of the reason why guys like Spagnuolo and before him Bieniemy and other guys that are hot coordinators don't get jobs if they're on Super Bowl winning teams is because it takes forever to actually have permission to interview them. But with a potential Chiefs missing the playoffs, Spagnuolo is going to be up for some head coaching gigs, and he is definitely one of the top 4 candidates for the Giant job, possibly 5. I would love to bring Steve home. We haven't had a defensive-minded head coach since Bill Parcells.
Oh, I heard they were looking at Bill Belichick to bring him back.
As much as I would love that story to end in East Rutherford, I just don't think it's going to happen. And part of the reason is I think Belichick and the Giants took a step back in terms of their relationship when he accidentally blew the whistle on Brian Dable getting the job and the whole Flores mess. I think that that might deter the Giants. And the other part is, you talk about Taylor Swift and Kelsey. This guy's girlfriend, do we want that drama that close to East Rutherford? I'm not sure.
Are you kidding me? Look, why? Because New York can't handle drama? They can't handle controversy?
I'm not saying they can't, but sometimes when you bring greats back when it's a little bit too late, it doesn't work out that well. I remember when the New York Knicks brought Phil Jackson and put him upstairs, and everybody thought everything was going to get healed, and that was a friggin' shit show. I think Bill Belichick, as much as I hate to say it, I think that he's done in the NFL because I think that he burned too many bridges. The Giants were one of those bridges that was still open, but I do think that Brian Flores fuckery brought embarrassment to the Giants organization. And whether it was intentional or whether it was an accident, Bill Parcells, I keep saying Parcells, Bill Belichick was on the other side of it. So there's that. Well, we'll see. I've seen crazier things happen, but when I think about guys like Mike McCarthy out there who improved both Dak Prescott and Aaron Rodgers in terms of not being reckless and being more pocket presence. A lot of people give McCarthy shit about, this guy didn't win in Dallas. I'm like, nobody won in Dallas since Barry Switzer with Jimmy Johnson's team. Part of that isn't due to Jerry. He won in Green Bay. He got Dallas in the playoffs almost every year. Mike McCarthy is a safe coach, a safe pick. Marcus Freeman, my favorite college team, Notre Dame. He's been linked to the G-Men possibly. But I personally, dude, this is a weird one because the Giants have a bad track record of all these like coordinators that don't turn out good. But in the history of the NFL, nobody has ever. What is that?
Listen.
So I'm talking about Belichick and you're getting nostalgic?
You're welcome, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, this where was I? Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing that I said it, Belichick, I think just too many burned bridges. I made the McCarthy reference. This is a weird thing, though. No coach has ever Super Bowl with two different teams as being the head coach. We've seen it with coordinators, like they'll catch a ring and then be a head coach. The closest to doing it was actually Bill Parcells when he lost to the Packers, because with your team, the Patriots, because he did it with the Giants. But no other head coach has ever done it. Vermeil didn't do it. Andy Reid didn't do it. So that's the ever going question. Do you go with a proven guy or do you go with somebody new? In the Giants case, if they go with McCarthy, they're basically saying nobody's ever done it. He won with Green Bay. But I don't know if that's a deterrent because there's always that first time. I mean, no left-handed quarterback won a Super Bowl until Steve Young did, so there's that. All right. Arizona Cardinals taking it to Houston. Short, sweet, and simple. I know Jacoby Brissett has been a great find for fantasy owners, a great waiver wire pickup, but this is not the week. I don't know how Brissett would get 20 or more this week. He's got a nice little streak going, but it ends this week. That Houston defense is really ferocious, and this Houston team is going to win the South.
Yeah.
They will catch Jacksonville.
Oh, so Houston wins and Jacksonville loses against the Jets?
No, they're not going to catch them this week.
Oh.
But Houston wins this division. They still have to play Jacksonville yet. That's a game where that Jacksonville could lose. They ain't losing to the friggin' Jets though. Yeah, this is going to be ugly. The only way, I still don't think, even if CJ Stroud plays like absolute ass, I still think they win this game. But their defense is really good, really good.
No, their defense is top notch. Their defense is legit.
And honestly, I think whoever's in the backfield for Houston should have a decent enough day. Arizona's run defense has been piss poor. The post Kyler Murray era is weird. It's just like we're going to throw the ball 50 times.
Yeah. No, I'm taking Houston all day in this one. Even Marvin Harrison is coming back. It don't matter.
Nah.
That secondary is going to shut them down. 28-13. I'm going to take Houston, 28-13.
I'm going to take Houston by a final of 29-3.
Wow.
I think, yeah, I think they're going to really put it on Arizona. I think it's going to be ugly for Arizona. Baltimore Ravens traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals at 4-9.
Mm.
The Bengals would have to win out, as I already alluded to, and you need a combination of the Ravens and Steelers to just go down the shitter. I think the Ravens are already expediting their toilet plunge. Um, they, they just lost 2 consecutive home games. That's not a recipe for winning a division title in the month of December. And I think in large part, Bretsky, I think it has a lot to do with Lamar Jackson being injured. He's playing hurt. He's showing heart. But between that and the fact that their defense, even though they've been playing a little better lately, is still really not that good. This is a week where their defense will get exposed. Cincinnati beat them, oddly enough, on Turkey Day with playing a good defensive game of their own, which nobody saw coming. Joe Burrow was a little rusty. It was his first game back. The only thing that sucks for Cincy here, and sucks for me as a fantasy owner of the guy, unless T. Higgins surprises everybody, and we've seen it happen because you could never predict concussions. But I think the reason why T will probably miss this game is because he's been in concussion protocol in 2 consecutive weeks.
Yeah.
So you're going to look for other guys to step up. Obviously, Baltimore's going to hone in on Jamar Chase. It doesn't matter. Jamar Chase is going to do his thing. And Cincinnati pulls off the season sweep here. Give me the Bengals by a score of 27-20, a 7-point victory for the Bengals. If they had Higgins and Chase and like the full set of everything, I would have felt maybe a little more comfortable. But the funny thing is, Higgins didn't play the last time these guys played either, and since he whipped them. I don't think they're going to whip them like they did in the first game, but I think they win by a touch.
No, I think Cincinnati continues to fucking blow them out of the water. Even without T. Higgins, I mean, Gesicki proved last week that he's a solid tight end. Chase is going to get his. Chase Brown and Jamar Chase, they're both going to eat. Baltimore defense is trash, and Lamar's
not quite as bad as the Bengals.
Yeah, but Lamar's playing like shit. At least,
Lamar's playing hurt, dude.
But at least the Bengals defense is played up to par.
Up to par?
Yes, up to par.
They had one good game on Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, that. But still.
Up to par? I wouldn't go that far. The reason they got 9 losses is because of their defense.
They're playing better
Joe
than the Ravens.
No, I don't agree with that statement. The Ravens defense hasn't been the problem lately. They can't score the frequency that they used to score.
Yeah,
they didn't play that. Yeah. Both these teams are not that good. Can we agree on that much?
I agree, but I'm still taking Cincy at home.
I'm taking Cincy as well. I just don't think it's going to be a blowout.
No, it's going to be a blowout.
I mean, this has the potential to be one of those games that could be a track meet.
Yeah.
But I think that Cincinnati's going to try to slow it down. I think Baltimore's going to try to do the same thing. I don't think you want a track meet with the Bengals. That's why I got it in the 20s as opposed to in the 30s or even higher. But yeah, I agree with that. I'll take the Bengals for the home dub, keeping their slim playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, I'm going to go 31-23, Cincy.
31-23 in favor of Cincy. All right. Not too far off what I'm kind of cooking. Cleveland Browns at Chicago. Shador Sanders, 1-2 record since taking over as the Browns starter, but last week was actually the best game of his young career. The Bears, this is a weird thing. So, they got a nice record. They lost a close one to Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Williams has been a cool little story this year. But the last couple of weeks, Caleb has not been playing his game. The Bears' run defense is kind of iffy. Like some weeks they're good, some weeks they look like shit. Last week was the latter. Josh Jacobs did his thing. The Browns just got embarrassed in terms of on the defensive side of the ball, because the one thing that you could always count on when you watch a Browns game is like, yo, their defense is pretty good. Offensively, they're limited. Judkins is a really good rookie.
Yeah.
Shador is still learning. They don't have a lot happening on offense. And I'm not going to take anything from that game against the Titans. The Titans are terrible. But I'm expecting this game to be a little closer than Bears fans want it to be.
Mhm.
And I think that this game is going to be within a score going into the fourth quarter. And that's going to be something that's going to make for an interesting finish. I just have a funny feeling that after getting embarrassed in the manner that they did against the lowly Titans, I feel like the Cleveland Browns are going to show up for this one. I still got the Bears winning, but it's going to be tight. Give me the Chicago Bears by a score of 24-20. I think one of these scores is going to be off a pick six on Shador. And I think Myles Garrett gets to Caleb Williams at least twice. It'll be close. But if the Browns pull off an upset, I wouldn't be mind blown.
No, I don't see the Browns pulling off an upset. I think Caleb, you mentioned about him not doing Caleb things last week, but he did do Caleb things. If you ask Micah Parsons about him chasing him around the field the entire game, he's going to tell you otherwise. He hated chasing him around the field.
Well, yeah, he's been one of the most elusive quarterbacks this year, and he proved that against the G-Men. The G-Men got to him, but they couldn't bring him down.
Yeah, no, he's a good quarterback, dude. He really is.
He's getting there.
And I think the Bears defense, what exactly does the Cleveland Browns offense have to offer?
A lot of short passing. They try to move the chains, and they really put a lot on their rookie Judkins, similar to what they used to do with Nick Chubb.
Yeah, on a rookie. They have two rookies, a rookie quarterback and a rookie running back.
And speaking of rookies, I really like their tight end, Harold Fannin. He is good.
I see the Bears clamping down. I see them coming back for revenge. And it's at Chicago. I see the Bears big win. 30-10, 30-13.
Okay.
I don't see Cleveland doing that much. I really don't. I think Bears are coming on top big this week.
All right. Bretsky has a big Bears win. I think it's going to be a little closer. Mile High is the site. Green Bay Packers at 9-3-1. They are vying for the number one seed in the NFC. Broncos are doing the same in the AFC. Is this a Super Bowl preview question mark? I'm going to say perhaps. Packers defense has risen to the occasion when called upon this year, even in the games that they lost. Cleveland beat them super early in the year. They lost a very close one to Philly. Every Packer loss has been by 3 points or less. 3 points. And they have a tie. Similar to the Rams, the Packers could also be undefeated. They're not, but they could be. Denver, this is the weird thing with Denver. They have a propensity for playing down to the level of competition, which is why I'm not completely sold if they are a real deal contender just yet. Even though we know what their defense could do, we know that Sean Payton is a great wizard of motivating men. And we've seen them come back from bad scenarios. They were getting their ass kicked by the G-Men. They made a remarkable comeback on Demaryius Thomas Day. They've shown heart this year. They've shown the ability to win ugly games as well. But when it comes to who has more going for them on the offensive side of the ball, I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers here because Jordan Love, who a guy that I've had a love and hate with in terms of how do I trust him? Do I not trust him? What do I think this week? What do I think that week? I think that in some really important games, like the Thanksgiving game in Detroit, tough place to win a game, he had one of his finest games of the year. Last week, division rival Chicago, really, really tough game, engineers a big drive. They take the lead. than his defense wins the game from. I just feel that Bo Nix is more likely to make a mistake in this particular game before Jordan Love is. As the defenses go, Micah Parsons, when he's locked in, is one of the best in all of football. The only two guys at his position that I would put ahead of him are TJ Watt and Myles Garrett. I like Jacobs big time here. I think Jacobs, even though they're playing a very good Denver defense, is going to get his. It's going to be a workman-like performance where he goes for about $110. He's going to earn every yard, but he's going to have a day. Jaden Reed's back. That's good for the Packers. Christian Watson starting to feel himself get into this offense as well. And the great thing about Matt LaFleur is that he has had the ability to, move on from Devontae Adams. You don't really have a quote-unquote number one receiver, but you got guys stepping up in different ways. Green Bay, similar to the Rodgers era, Love is becoming very adaptable with different faces, and I think that wins in December and later. Give me the Green Bay Packers in a hard-fought victory. I got them winning this thing. I'm going to go 24. I'm going to go 24-20. Same score as the other game. Give me the Packers by 4, 24-20. Jordan Love, no turnovers. Bo Nix throws one pick, and he also gives up the ball in a strip sack. RJ Harvey will have a bit of a day. It could be a quiet fantasy day where he gets like one of those screen passes that he takes somewhere. But I like this Packer defense. They're very disciplined.
No, as much as I want Denver to lose this game and lose control over the first place in AFC, I'm still picking Denver to win. It's at Mile High. Their luck is just on their side at Mile High. And I still don't trust Jordan Love, especially going against that Denver freaking defense. Are you kidding me? Denver's defense is number one in the league, period.
Houston's number one in the league.
Well, and what, run or pass?
Overall, they're the best defense in the league.
Okay, then put Denver at 2. Their defense is top notch, dude. I'm sorry. And I don't trust Jordan Love. I don't trust his decision making. I just talked with you weeks ago about Jordan Love.
Weeks ago. I'm talking about more recent.
Getting better, but do I trust it on the road against Denver's secondary and pass rush? No, absolutely not.
I'll tell you what I don't trust is that Denver offense that takes quarters off at a time. Their offense is still a work in progress, and I'll be honest with you, nobody's really talking about it. But when they lost J.K. Dobbins, that was a huge loss.
Yeah,
because now you got Harvey as your every down back. And while I think that the UCF product will eventually be that player, I think it's a lot to put on a rookie. And I like Bo Nix, but I don't love Bo Nix. I still think that Sean Payton has him on a very tight leash because Sean Payton doesn't completely trust him yet either. Sean Payton, Matt LaFleur, two great minds. Matt LaFleur, one thing that I got to say about the man, when it comes to winning percentage in a storied franchise like the Green Bay Packers, Matt LaFleur's winning percentage is up there with Vince Lombardi and Curly Lambeau. The only thing missing for LaFleur is that elusive Lombardi trophy. He's been close a couple of times already. Both teams have very good defenses. Denver's defense is better than Green Bay's by a couple of steps. I'll give them that. But I think Green Bay has the ability to do more on offense. And when you have a guy like a Josh Jacobs that can compensate for some of that, I think that's the difference. And, that guy on Green Bay is pretty good, Mr. Parsons.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
And Xavier McKinney, the former Giant, has been a huge contributor this year to the Packers as well.
I'm still taking Denver in that matchup. It's going to be close, though. It's going to be really close. 29-26.
thing that the thing that worries me in a bigger picture for Denver is like this is a team that played the Raiders twice and both times beat them by just a score.
Yeah.
You know, uh,
I mean, but that's a division rival, though.
no,
It's
I
different.
get it. I get it, but
It's
you
different.
know, yeah, they're a division rival of the Chargers too. The Chargers blew them out of the water. They're a division rival of Kansas City. Kansas City blew them out of the water. The Raiders suck. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't trust Denver yet. I don't think they're completely there. I think that they have a really pretty record, but I think somebody's going to piss in their Cheerios.
Mm.
We'll see. We'll see. That's why they play the games. It's hard to
I like
tell. But this,
I like your thought process. Save that for the playoff talk.
no doubt. But these are precursors of things that that are on the way, so to speak.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. But
All right.
come playoff talk, we'll see.
Oh, we most definitely will. This could be the game of the week right here. Detroit Lions at 8-5, going to SoFi to take on the Rams.
Mm.
These two teams, Bretsky, they've played each other so many times the last few years.
Yeah.
Always exciting when these two lock horns, the two quarterbacks got traded for each other. A lot of people believe that the Lions won the trade because it wasn't just Goff. They built their whole team around that trade with some huge, huge pickups. But, the Rams got a Super Bowl out of it. The Lions have yet to do that. We spoke a couple of seasons ago. You were at my house for the NFC title game. You made an appearance on the show the next day, and we both talked about how Dan Campbell, while we do admire his audacity to go for it on fourth down as much as he does and shit like that, sometimes I think he gets out of his head too much. He cost his team a trip to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Last year, they had too many injuries. They missed it. They just put a whooping on Dallas. Their defense showed up in that one. They made things hard for Dak Prescott. Could they do the same thing to Matthew Stafford? I'm going to politely say I don't think so, because Matthew Stafford, a guy who took so many beatings in his career, has really been upright most of the season. His offensive line has done a terrific job. Blake Corum out of Michigan gradually becoming a solid piece behind Kyron Williams out of Notre Dame. I think that both these teams offer running games that can dominate. The difference between these two teams is the Lions' running game opens up the pass, whereas the Rams' passing game opens up the run. So I think it's going to be a battle of wills here and which offense is going to work. I'm going to say that I think both offenses are going to show up. But I think Jared Goff going back to his old place, because all these games that have previously happened occurred in Detroit. This time they're in Jared Goff's old house. And it's not going to be the same kind of reception that like Matthew Stafford had going back to Detroit. Because Matthew Stafford, truthfully, in the modern era, could go down as the greatest quarterback in Lions history. So when he went back, it was like more emotional. Goff shit the bed in the Super Bowl against your team. They traded him because they didn't think that he was the dude. Now, this is a game that you want to perform at a high level and you want to do a lot of things. But I think this is a game where Goff might actually screw this up a little. You got that wonderful 1-2 punch of Montgomery and Gibbs. Gibbs reminds me sometimes of Barry Sanders and some of the shit that he does. I give the Lions the edge in the running back room, but I give the Rams the edge on just the overall roster. They're monitoring Davante Adams with that hamstring, but between Puka and between Adams, they're going to open it up, and they're going to be able to score a lot of points in this game. I mean, we saw Dallas score 30 against Detroit in Detroit. I think this could be one of the real high-scoring baddies. But I think what's going to happen is the Rams are going to run away with it at some point, like in the third, early fourth quarter. Give me the Rams by a score of 45-31. I think the Lions are going to hang, but I think the Rams are going to start running some track meet. Yeah, I think it's going to be that kind of game.
Wow. Man, I don't know where to go with this one. I mean, it's a revenge game for Jared.
Well, he already got revenge to a level because he eliminated these guys in the playoffs already.
Yeah, I know, but
But this is where he's going
it's
back to his
still
old
there, though.
his old
It's still
stadium.
there. You know it's still there. And man,
And Stafford has not really gotten the better of the Lions yet.
no, he hasn't. But I love both these teams. I really do. God, I love these teams.
No, I'll be honest with you. In terms of construction, I think the Rams have everything set to win the Super Bowl this year.
Oh,
I think the Lions aren't good enough to go all the way. I'll just keep it a buck. I really think they blew their opportunity 2 years ago. I really mean that.
No, they did. And you and I were there.
I don't think they're going to get back with this group. I really don't. I like Jared Goff. I think he's one of the best people in the NFL, just like you said about Josh Allen. Great personality, good human being, da-da-da. Just like Kirk Cousins, another great person. But I just don't think that he has what it takes to be a Super Bowl champion. He doesn't strike me as that guy that could take it to the next level.
I don't know if it's him, though.
Well, who is it then?
I mean, Dan Campbell, you saw the choices. You saw the sacrifices he was trying to fucking do. You know what I mean? It's just,
I just have a feeling that this is how I think this goes.
Why can't this game end in a tie?
Well, this is what I think is going to happen. I think you're going to see a track meet, like for the first half, but then eventually the Rams are going to take the air out of the ball on offense. They're going to put together one of those patented long drives, and then the Lions make a mistake. And then once the Lions make a mistake, that's when the Rams start running some distance.
Oh, yeah, that's when McVay is going to jump all over him.
Absolutely, dude. And the difference between these two teams is that the Rams don't. The Lions are okay on that side of the ball.
I know,
but Hutch isn't all the way back yet, even though he's playing.
Here's the thing: I love both coaches. I love the fucking balls that Dan Campbell brings, but McVay's
a genius, dude.
His IQ and his knowledge of the game is way more than what Dan Campbell brings, and Dan Campbell
is like a Bill Cowher in a lot of ways.
Yeah, no, he's a player's coach.
No question.
McVay is more of a. I mean, at the same time, he is a player's coach, but he's also a numbers coach. He's also a scheme.
McVay's grandfather was actually an assistant back in the day with the G-Men.
Yeah.
No, McVay's a phenomenal coach. One of the few guys that gets
McVay over than and it sucks because I love Campbell. I love the way he coaches, but I trust McVay over.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. Campbell's a great guy, former New York Giant.
Mm-hmm.
He was our tight end before Jeremy Shockey.
Mm-hmm.
No, I like Dan Campbell.
Shocko.
But I think I like him more as a personality than I do as a coach.
Yeah.
Because I think that Dan Campbell is the type of guy. Remember how he almost got fired, but he didn't, and then things turned around?
Mm-hmm.
There will be a time, because what's going to happen with this Lions team, unfortunately, is that I think that they're going to run their course, but they're not going to get to the pinnacle. And then eventually they're going to have to break the team up. Goff's not going to be this age forever. He's not even that. Goff has some miles on that body, even though he's not as old as the guy he got traded for. No, I think the Lions are going to go down as one of those teams that should have won a Super Bowl but didn't.
Yeah. They're going to be part of the missing rings.
Could potentially be. I mean, dude, they were 15-2 last year and lost in their first playoff game.
I know.
And that's a year after being so close.
I'll be honest, dude. They blew their shot, against San Fran the year.
And you talk about great coaches. As much as McVay is a phenomenal genius, the one coach in the NFL that has McVay's number is actually the coach of the Niners, Kyle Shanahan.
Mm-hmm.
And Kyle Shanahan, look how he out-chessed Dan Campbell. I expect more of that here. But what's gonna win this game for the Rams is just a simple fact. They're a better team. They're deeper. And they have the best receiving duo in professional football.
It's gonna be close though.
It's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be a fun game.
Give me the Rams. Close. Even though I think the Rams have a better defense, I still think Detroit is going to try to. They're going to go for it in fourth down. Non-fucking stop.
My thing is this: if Detroit couldn't stop the Green Bay Packers on Thanksgiving, they ain't stopping the Rams.
Yeah.
And mind you, that was in Detroit, because we were giving Detroit the benefit of the doubt. Oh, the Packers beat them in week 1. And, the Packers had a couple of stinkers. So we're like, oh, maybe the Packers aren't that good. Oh, the Packers been building back their respect. The sweep in Detroit was huge for the Packers this year. But this could be very huge for not only the Packers and the Bears, but for the Eagles and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Because if the Lions lose this game, it opens up the door for the NFC East to send 2 teams, because the Eagles are probably going to win this week. And I haven't talked about the Cowboys yet, but we'll get to them. But it opens up the door.
Give me the Rams 36-28.
Okay.
If Detroit wins it wouldn't surprise me, but I'm not picking them.
Yeah, I just don't think Detroit has an answer for the Rams offense. I really don't.
No, but I think Rams have a better defense on top of that, though.
Well, they most certainly do. It's not just a thought; it's a fact. All right, so we're both on the Rams.
Yeah.
This might be the most interesting game of the week. I don't think it's going to be interesting in terms of how it plays out, but interesting in terms of the scenario. The Indianapolis Colts at 8-5 travel to the 12th man to take on the 10-3 Seahawks. The Seahawks will be rooting hardcore for the Detroit Lions. Riley Leonard, Notre Dame fame, lost the national championship game last year against Ohio State. Quarterback, a very smart quarterback. But is he an NFL quarterback? I'm not convinced. If you go out and get a guy who's been retired for 5 years, that's a finalist for the NFL Hall of Fame, and now he's going to have to get backed up 5 years, that's called desperation, folks. They also reached out to Andrew Luck, just to put it in perspective. And he's been retired even longer than Rivers.
Yeah.
Both these guys, of course, played with the Colts before. Let's pretend that Daniel Jones didn't mess up his Achilles. This still would have been a rough day for him. This still would have been a rough day for him as well. I don't think people truly understand just how violent, how disciplined, and how good this Seattle defense really is.
Yeah.
Leonard Williams has been such a huge presence for them. The former Giant, the former Jet. Julian Love, another former New York Giant, having a pretty good year in that secondary. And, Sam Darnold, a guy who got written off by the Jets, written off by the Panthers, he goes to the McVay school, the O'Connell school. He goes to the Shanahan school. He ups his quarterback acumen, has a beautiful year with the Vikings. Those idiots didn't keep him. And now he's doing big things with Seattle, making everybody forget about Russell Wilson or anything that happened before him. This Seattle team, out of all the wild cards in the NFL, in my opinion, Brett, are the team that could win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Out of all the wild cards.
Yeah.
They haven't had this kind of defensive ferocity since the Legion of Boom.
And they're 10-3. It's not like, they're a wild card now, but that defense is really underrated.
There are 3 teams that could come out of the NFC. The Rams, the Seahawks, and the Packers. I don't see anybody else winning the conference. It ain't the Eagles. It ain't the Niners. It ain't anybody in the South.
No, it's not the Niners.
I admire what the Niners have accomplished this year. I think it's a testament to their coach, but they're missing too many people on defense, and that shit will get exposed in the playoffs.
Wow. Man, it's really hard to bet against Seattle right now.
Oh, I'm not even like thinking too hard. If it's Phillip Rivers, it's going to be worse than if it's Riley. It don't matter. This is going to be ugly. I can't believe Philip Rivers is even putting it. Who in their right mind, from a moral standpoint, will put a 44-year-old in this mess?
I mean, I'll be honest. I love it. I love it.
It's like some Chad Powers shit.
Dude, I love it, dude. Oh my God. This is like Shane Falco shit. You know what I mean?
That's a good analogy, yeah.
Oh, it's great, dude. I love it. I want to see Philip do well. I mean, the guy's got 20 kids. You know what I mean?
He won't do well this week. They brought him in on desperation because the Indianapolis Colts basically need to win 2 games to make the playoffs.
They did.
They hit 10's the magic number.
But I think it's going to be great for television for the first 2 quarters.
2 quarters. I think you're being too friendly. I think it's gonna be 2 series.
No, it'll be 2 quarters. And
If Jonathan Taylor
after that, it's gonna be a fucking Seattle slew.
If Jonathan Taylor is somehow able to
like that,
that was all right. If Jonathan Taylor is somehow able to do his thing against a very qualified Seattle front. But this is the thing. I saw Pittsburgh when they had one of their better performances shut down Jonathan Taylor. I've seen teams that have the personnel do it. The Seahawks have the personnel, and I think unfortunately what's going to happen, it's going to be similar to that game we played against the Cardinals a few weeks back where they stuffed the run. They made Brissett have to throw it too much, and then it was just a nightmare. This game might be like 17-0, 21-0 after the first quarter. This could be ugly.
It could be, but I want to see what Philip can do. I think he still has it in him, dude. He still has that quick release. He still has that fucking cannon. Let's go, Philip. I'm going to root for Philip. Come on, man.
So am I. But I don't have no love for Seattle. The city? No. God, no.
I don't have love for Seattle, but I have a fucking brain.
Do you know how much I have to dislike a team to root for the Patriots in a Super Bowl?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Think about that, buddy. Think about that. This is going to be a beatdown of mass proportions. Give me the Seattle Seahawks 37-1. Give me the Seattle Seahawks 41. Give me the Indianapolis Colts 13.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's going to be terrible. Philip Rivers is going to throw 2 picks and he's going to get injured. Riley Leonard's going to come in. It's just going to be a mess.
No faith, buddy. No faith.
Come on.
No fucking faith.
Philip Rivers couldn't win a Super Bowl in his prime. He's going to do something magical now.
I'm going Seattle 31, Indy 30.
30?
Yeah.
Does Indy get to play like 4 more quarters than Seattle does?
No, I'm just saying, Seattle's winning it by 1 point.
Yeah, right.
It's going to be a game. It's going to be a game for the ages. Philip Rivers comes back.
Tennessee Titans at 2-11, traveling to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. In case you didn't know, the 49ers really don't play in San Francisco. I don't care if they played in a parking lot. I don't care if they played in my backyard, Brett's backyard. Cam Ward, okay, cool, you got a W. This week, that comes to an end. Tony Pollard kind of refinding himself a little bit. I noticed that a lot of predictions had this game being kind of close. I don't see that. I think the 49ers are going to have their way on offense because if Shedeur Sanders is able to do what he did, what is Brock Purdy going to do? What is George Kittle going to do? What is Run CMC going to do? I'll tell you what they're going to do. They're going to score some points. Give me the 49ers by a final of 34-16. 49ers basically double up whatever the Titans do. And if they are fortunate enough to get 16 points, it's going to be like a late score or something silly. I don't think the 49ers are a championship contender, but I think they have the heart of a champion. And what I mean by that is that they're missing too many people to get them over the top. But because of the fact that they've already won so many close games and Kyle Shanahan's a phenomenal coach. Christian McCaffrey actually has more fantasy points than any quarterback. Think about that.
Yeah.
And George Kittle is a gamer, man. Guy's a great blocker. The guy is tough as nails. I really respect him.
Yeah, if you have a CMC on your fantasy team this week, it's a blessing.
You're damn
Unless
right
you're
it
in my
is.
week.
No question. No question.
Unless you're in my
No question. And that was last week. John
No,
got lucky against you, dude. John got lucky. If Saquon didn't bust that run,
yeah,
John would have missed the playoffs.
I know.
Completely missed the playoffs.
3 fucking points.
Yeah, lucky man.
I'm taking San Fran all day. 34-10. Absolute blowout. San Fran will probably take out their starters at the start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just to, manage minutes or what do they call it?
Load management?
Load management. There you go.
That's an NBA term, but I know what you mean, though.
Yeah, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, same bullshit. You got to get some rest. I mean, you never know. The Titans are playing with house money. Cam Ward has been through so much shit this year. It's just a bad team all around him. Tony Pollard looked good last week. It's nice to see him toting the rock well, but 49ers will handle their business. They're going to win this game, and Mac Jones will probably be able to play a little as well. And I got news for you. Mac Jones, in the event that Purdy should get hurt again, Mac Jones could still play.
Mm-hmm.
What did I say about Sam Darnold? He went to the Shanahan quarterback school. Same thing with Darnold. Darnold did it. Now Mac Jones is doing it. 49er quarterbacks, it's not a coincidence. And they have had a history of this. And I'm not talking about Steve Young. We know he's a legend. And, of course, Montana's a legend. Montana and Brady are basically the same player. I've told you this over the years. Same player, different eras. Kobe, Mike, same shit. Mike's a little better, though.
Yeah.
The thing is that they have always had the ability to have buried guys on the bench that they could come in and play the quarterback position at a good level where you're not missing much. I mean, here's a name, Steve Bono, Jeff Garcia. These are all guys that thrived with the 49ers. CJ Beathard. Yeah, he beat the Giants. I'll never forget that post. We just lost to a guy named Beathard. Yeah, its real name is Beathard, but it just sounds better. 49ers, it's unfortunate with all these injuries that they've had. Because if you have a Nick Bosa in there, things will be a lot different. And then maybe they could make a run. But that's why they play the games. And one thing about the Niners that's interesting, they do have Seattle's number still. So let's see what happens.
Still, yeah.
Sunday Night Football, the Minnesota Vikings at 5-8. J.J. McCarthy coming off his best game as a pro, traveling to Arlington to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys don't play in Dallas. They play in Arlington. 6-1 are the Cowboys. They have life due to the Eagles' struggles. Vikings are strictly playing for pride and are coming off the dominant shutout win over the Commanders. And while it was impressive, and it's always impressive to shut out anybody in today's NFL where it's offensive rules, offensive driven, offensive everything, you're not playing the Commanders this week. You're playing a high-octane Dallas offense and a Dallas team that's going to be feeling pretty good because they still have a chance. It's weird, man. Jerry Jones, he's an entertaining fellow because Jerry, in a lot of ways, reminds me of George Steinbrenner. I've said this so many times over the years that when all else fails, cause some controversy, stir the shit up, and say what you want. But since Jerry did that interview and stirred the shit up, the Cowboys have only lost one game, and that was last week. Dak Prescott is really playing well. Last week, he didn't have a chance. He was getting creamed behind the offensive line. They did not play well. But this is the kind of game where I think the Cowboys are going to be in for a fight. Don't get it wrong. Brian Flores runs a very good defense. And if Minnesota had more competent quarterback play, they'd have a much better record. Kevin O'Connell, damn good coach. You can't count him out. He's getting J.J. McCarthy back to a level of decent confidence. And that Dallas defense, even though they have some players now that are more competent, they're still not a great unit. So you got to be careful because Dallas is still susceptible to getting burned over the top. It could happen. You got Jetta and you got Jordan Addison. The Vikings are underachieving this year, but they are still a talented football team. Um, I'm expecting a close game here. I think Dallas will win the game because so much is at stake, but I don't think the Vikings are going to make it easy. Give me the Dallas Cowboys by a final tally of 27-23. I think the Vikings keep it close, keep it entertaining. This might be the kind of deal where the Cowboys are going into the fourth quarter losing and they got to put together a drive towards the end. CeeDee Lamb should be able to play. His concussion was on a long week. I think he'll be all right. But and if he doesn't play, little fantasy tidbit, go pick up Flournoy. But Dallas by 4, maybe more. I'm being humble on this. Dallas might turn around and whip them. But I'm going to give Minnesota a little respect here.
Here's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for Justin Jefferson to finally have a freaking blowout game.
It's hard with McCarthy this year.
It is, but he's due. He's long overdue for a blowout game. And this is a primetime game. Let's go. I want some J.J. Jefferson. I want some Pickens. I want some Lamb. I want a high-scoring, octane, primetime game. Oh. I'm still going to go. Yeah, I'll go Dallas all day. Like, I love their offense over Minnesota's offense. I think Minnesota has a better defense. But is that any way to contain Dallas offense? No. I think he's been playing lights out.
They got to win at the point of attack. If they can make Dak uncomfortable, they got a shot. Because Minnesota, while their quarterback situation is murky up and down, they do have the potential to run the ball well.
No,
that could open up things for the weapons you just spoke on.
They do, and I mean, Dallas defense has been playing better, but same thing, and they still have a lot of holes. They can give up a lot of big plays.
Absolutely.
So I'm still going to go Dallas. It's going to be high scoring, believe it or not. In my opinion, I'm going to say 34-31. Dallas. Aubrey with a 67-yard field goal to finish it.
All right. I don't think it'll be as high scoring, but it could be. I really do like what Brian Flores has been able to do with that defense. It's just like I said, when you got the Carson Wentz situation, he was playing all right, and then he got hurt. Then McCarthy's been hurt multiple times this year. It's just the quarterback position has held back the Vikings all year.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a team that could have had Aaron Rodgers. We call that a segue, kids, because Aaron Rodgers is playing Monday Night Football. The 6-7, yes, I just said that. The 6-7 Miami Dolphins are traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the 7-6 Steelers, who are currently in sole possession of first in the AFC North, ever so thin. We already predicted, Brett and I both predict, that Baltimore will lose, which would clearly keep them out of the race. And, Miami can't play in the cold weather, so naturally there's no way Miami could go into Pittsburgh and pull the upset. But maybe these aren't the same Dolphins. And maybe Mike McDaniels has balls of steel, because every time this fucking guy's about to get fucking canned, this team shows up and plays for him. Devin Achan, sore ribs. It still looks like he's going to be a go. I don't know how much that will affect him. I did pick up Wright, his backup in one of my leagues, just in case. Darren Waller is inactive, something new and different. Go to hell, Darren Waller, you douchebag, and you can't rap worth a shit. The Miami defense has actually low-key been playing better. They don't really have a lot of star power on that side of the ball. I mean, Mika Fitzpatrick came back in that trade for Ramsey. They lost Reek for the year. Talking about a guy with a lot of kids. He's going to be competing with Rivers now that he has some downtime. I would absolutely love to see the Miami Dolphins going to Pittsburgh and just shit on their day, their dreams. I would even love to see the Bengals win the division at an 8-9 record. I would love to see all that. But the reality of the situation is Pittsburgh's at home. Miami can't play in the cold weather. I want Miami to win this game. I just don't think they will. On the other side, Aaron Rodgers, his swan song is nearing. Will he make the playoffs in his swan song? I remember once you made a comment to me about some of the personnel that you had to deal with in a shift that you and I worked together. I'm not going to drop names because it just wouldn't be nice. So all I'm going to say is, hey, Brett, who's on the rooster? And you looked at me and you said, you and about 4 bowls of shit. So all I'm going to say is the Pittsburgh offense is a work in progress, but they're not really progressing that much. Aaron Rodgers is a legend, 4-time MVP, 1-time Super Bowl winner, first ballot Hall of Famer when he does hang it up, which is probably after this year. Mike Tomlin's not going nowhere. He's still under contract. The Steelers are just the epitome of just above the Mendoza line, just mediocre. Brett, can the Dolphins win this game?
Yes, they can. And they will.
I hope so, dude. That would be great.
And they will. I'll tell you what.
I don't want Aaron Rodgers to be happy.
Aaron Rodgers is a legend of being a piece of shit. Okay? And that's the God's honest truth. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him.
I got to ask you a question, Brensky.
What?
If my father was still alive, how would he process Aaron Rodgers being a Jet and a Steeler?
Process? He'd drink a fucking bottle of fucking Smirnoff vodka with a 2 fucking things of cranberry to back it up. Oh, this fucking guy, Jesus Christ, Jesus. I don't understand what he's doing.
My father was not pissed off.
Come on.
My father was not pissed off when Favre went to the Jets. My dad was livid when Favre put on the purple. But my father has never cared for the Steelers. Like, he didn't have a reason to hate them because they're not in the same conference or the division, but he just didn't go for them. And I think part of it was because, the 6 rings and years.
And dude, here's the thing. I don't want Miami to win. I think they can win. But the fact that I want Aaron Rodgers to lose even more just adds to it.
I got news for you, Brett. I'm not trying to be a wise ass.
I think Miami.
I'm rooting for Miami.
I think Miami can beat them.
I'm rooting for Miami for one reason. Well, 2 reasons. I don't like the Steelers. The other reason is I want Mike McDaniel to stay put. And I'm not saying this because
really why?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because he's a fighter. Because he's a fighter, Brett. I'll be real with you. He's a fighter. And I respect him. I'm not saying X's and O's, he's some phenomenal coach. The guy looks like a friggin' accountant. He looks like my friggin' financial advisor.
Yeah.
But the thing is, his players play for him every time he gets backed up into a corner. And there's something to be said about that. There's something to be said about that, dude. You know what? Fuck it. Miami Dolphins 26.
Let's go.
Pittsburgh Steelers 20 in overtime. And I'm going to tell you how it ends. Aaron Rodgers fumbles on their first possession of overtime on a strip sack.
Yeah.
Miami ensuing drive, 2 plays in, line up the field goal. Miami gets the W, the rare W on the road in the cold weather, and they put themselves in a position to potentially sneak into the playoffs. They're not going to.
I'm also going Miami here. I'm going Miami, bro.
You know what's hilarious about this?
21-18. 21-18, Miami on the road.
If Miami somehow wins this game and the Chiefs lose, Miami will have a better record than the Chiefs.
I know, but we're gonna be looked at like we're geniuses, though.
Yeah, or just people, or just guys who stayed up too late to come up with this bullshit.
Yeah, I know, it's great. Fuck.
I'll be real with you. I'll be real with you. I don't really think Miami's gonna win, but I picked them, so I'm gonna stick with it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So
Miami.
we're all on the Dolphins.
Yep.
All right, Brett. Only a little bit of time. I know, I love it. Brett, only a little bit of time left in the season. Who's your pick for NFL MVP? Are you going Stafford?
Oh, wow.
I think he's the most logical pick right now.
What are you, fucking Captain Spock? Logical pick. Listen. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to go Stafford. I mean, you got to throw Josh Allen in there. CMC, comeback player of the year.
He will win the comeback player of the year now that Danny Dimes is out of the mix. Well, he probably would have anyway. His numbers are insane.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, CMC, come on, dude. I mean, look what he's doing.
No, for real. No question.
You know, but it just so happens, they may give it to quarterback. I mean, why not? But dude, CMC, you can't dispute his numbers. So I'd go CMC all day.
All right, I have a question for you, Bretsky. King Richard versus the Dynasty Killer. What's your final? Pops Cheddar in the Sun League round 1.
It depends what I see tomorrow.
Yeah, that might have an influence.
Depends what I see in that 4:00 update.
Yeah.
It really depends on that, to be honest with you.
My prediction. I'll give you my. I'm gonna tell you who I think my big performers are going to be this week. I think Tyrone Tracy is going to have a good enough game against the Commanders where it's going to be like, oh damn, those were points I wasn't banking on. I think Chris Boswell in a losing effort. Well, the score that I just gave doesn't really.
The Dolphins.
I'm making a change. I'm going to start Borregales.
Yeah.
Forget Boswell for now. I think Travis Kelce is going to have a nice game for me. That's going to really help. But I think the guy that's going to put me over, the guy that's going to do it for me, there's going to be two guys. Devontae Smith, yeah, believe it or not, Philly. They're playing the Raiders. And I like CeeDee Lamb to have quite a game. I'm taking King Richard for the win, 142.76 to Dynasty Killers 129.8.
Well, you didn't mention Jared Cook. Not Jared Cook.
James Cook?
Yeah, James Cook. You didn't mention him.
It's kind of points that I'm banking on. I don't think he's having a phenomenal game.
He's not. I don't think he's going to have a good game at all. I think he'll have 10, 12 points, but compared to his average
I'm
game,
give him.
he's having. I think Herbert's going to have a shit game.
Well, that's the thing.
Kelce,
I need to fit.
Listen, yeah. Kelce is done. He's not
You know
having.
who else is on?
He's not having a fucking comeback game. He's fucking done.
You know who else is on my bench?
He is pussy whipped fucking done.
You just went from saying how you could see a comeback game about an hour ago in this show, and you said that I don't want to see the defeat in the man.
I didn't say it had anything to do with Kelce. I said it had to do with the team.
We'll have to replay this. I don't know
He's
about
still PW'd.
Hey, but yeah, Herbert could potentially have a shit game, but I'm always prepared, Bretsky. In the words of Apollo Creed, I'll always think of something else. I've got another gentleman on the bench that I don't even know if you're aware is on my team. Bryce Young.
Oh, that guy, the one that I talked about earlier.
I have considered starting Bryce Young because Brissett's got a terrible matchup. Herbert's just making me nervous.
See, that's the
And
problem with having too many fucking quarterbacks on your team. Who are you going to
well,
start, Reg? Who are you going to start?
I'm going to start the guy who gives me the best chance of at least getting 20. And I think that guy could be Herbert. It could be Bryce Young.
Huh.
Their projections are only a point apart. But the thing is, Bryce Young's playing the Saints, dude. And the Carolina already lost to them. Bryce Young, could this be the week that Bryce Young blows it up? And he's the reason.
That sounds like a dilemma for you, buddy.
Sounds like I'm going to be doing a little thinking.
Yeah, that's meant for me, and that's for you.
No, but this is something rather interesting. Let's say hypothetically, if I beat you at Bryce Young, next week I'll probably start Brissett because of his volume of. No, actually, I'll start Herbert next week.
Probably.
If I advance to the championship, guess who Brissett plays in Week 17? The Cincinnati Bengals.
Hey.
3 different quarterbacks to win a fantasy championship league and all kinds of wacky trades that I pulled.
Oh,
You said at the resort. What did you say? What did you say when I didn't have a first or second round pick?
I can't.
The hell you can't.
This guy will kill himself inside of 3 rounds. You can't win, Rock.
That's what you said. That is what you said. Bretsky, if I eliminate
You ain't been hungry since you won that belt.
And speaking of that belt, I am going for 3 and 4 years, which would be a dynasty.
Yeah.
And it would be poetic if I make it to the final and play Zappy, because the first year of my championship run, I have one way back in 2010, but I'm talking about more recent. When I won a couple of years back, a few years ago, Zappy and I, the game was never completed with the Bengals and the Bills. It never counted, the Damar Hamlin game. In my personal opinion, Zappy was going to win. Yahoo recognized me as the winner, so we decided the only fair thing to do was to take a tie. So we were co-champions that year. The next year, I lost the championship to Dom. Then last year, I won the championship against Timmy.
Yeah, Rich, I know your fucking story. Can I fucking pee already?
Well, I mean, just trying to give it a little juice,
Jesus
you know. This
Christ.
is
I love you, dude, but Jesus Christ.
trying to give it a little juice, man. This is a big moment in fantasy history here. I am astounded that Brett and I have gone for 2 hours. We thought we were going to have Zappy on the show. I knew Idris wasn't going to come on this late. And this is super uncharacteristic to do a show this late. This is for the love, man. Just chopping it up, talking some football. This was a fun show tonight. I'm going to do some of my shout outs while I wait for Brett to drain the main vein. Please make it a point to like and subscribe to the channel, Richie's Junior Sports Podcast on YouTube. Check out the V Mix, the Vicious Mix with our guy, Idris Salam, on live365.com. Check out our friends at the Casual Convo Show. They actually did a show earlier yesterday, every other Monday or every other Wednesday, 8 to 10 p.m. on Hand Radio. Check out our friends at the Sports Corner, Johnny Nast as well as Joe Gallagher. 2 awesome Eagle fans. And I don't say that very often, but these guys are awesome. They have a great show. Love what they do. We recently were guests on their show. Last but not least, check out the Bleed Blue podcast. Shouts out Steve Azul and all of them over there who do what they do. Bretsky, final thoughts on the night. I just did my shout outs.
No final thoughts. It's going to be a great fantasy football week and a lot of good matchups. And we're going to have a great birthday party. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. I want to say on the air here, thank you so much for no one's never done anything like that, like a place like where that venue, never nothing like that. So he's gonna be a happy dude. And what I'm actually really stoked about, Idris might be making the trip to Florida. Um, the former namesake of the show, Jordan Patrick, gonna holler at him tomorrow. He might be making it. And I got my mom, my brother, sister-in-law. We'll see if Eddie makes it. If Eddie somehow ends up staying back, I'm gonna actually see if he watches the dog for me. Because our dog is still got that separation anxiety, particularly when Jen's not in the house. But
My whole
good show
body
tonight.
is engine, and this is a fire plug, and I'm gonna light him up. I just saw Harry Bosco.
But yeah,
Bosco.
we know. But yeah, hopefully Idris makes it out, because Idris was talking about it when he does come to Florida about possibly taking a week.
Bosco from the Bronx. And we're looking at Harry Bosco.
So anything else on the mind? You fantasy stuff, you said that. Oh, okay, I'm going to ask you one more thing, because before we got into the fantasy talk, we'll wrap it on this. A couple more questions before we get out of here. As of right now, Bretsky, and this is a week-to-week question, a week-to-week change. Who is your NFC, AFC championship teams that are going to be playing in championship weekend, based on what you're seeing right now?
What I'm seeing right now, Rams, NFC. I'm not trying to be a homer. I'm really not. But I got to go Patriots, AFC.
So you got the Rams winning the NFC, and who do you got them beating?
I have them beating Seattle.
Interesting. I mean, most definitely possible. I'm going to go Packers, Rams. I'm sticking with that pick in the NFC. I'll be honest with you, even though, of course, I would prefer that the Packers wins, my father's team. I don't think that the Packers will be able to keep up with the Rams. I think it's the Rams' year, like it or not.
Yeah.
In the AFC, my preseason prediction was the Buffalo Bills and the Denver Broncos. This is interesting. If you guys get the 1 seed, you might run into Buffalo in round 2.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys get the 2 seed, you might avoid Buffalo until round 3. So for the sake of fun, I'm going to say Buffalo and New England, AFC title game.
Heard.
Which would be very exciting. Now, this is another weird one. Let's say if Denver gets the 2 seed and gets Denver just gives me like this weird vibe that they might screw this up in an early round. I don't know why, I just have a weird feeling. But at the same time, dude, based on familiarity, if you guys run into Buffalo in round 2, that is less than ideal, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Mm.
The familiarity of facing a division rival, definitely less than ideal. And, Buffalo has a lot of pain and a lot of experience, whereas a loss for a young team like the Patriots, I don't really think it sets them back. But a loss for the Buffalo Bills, that could signal like the changing of the guard. Like, yo, this ain't our division no more, and we missed our window. So a lot of reputations, a lot of legacies on the line.
We talked about that in the NFC East preview. I think Buffalo already had their opportunity. I think they already had the window.
Yeah, and we're going to find out if it's true, because I think the irony of it is that a lot of people would be freaking out that Buffalo doesn't have the home advantage. But I think the thing that Buffalo has going for them, regardless of whether they're the East champion or a wild card, is that there's no big bad Kansas City in their way anymore, because that's the one team.
Wow.
And who's the other team that has given them fits?
Bengals.
Exactly. And the Bengals are likely not going to be in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So outside of the New England Patriots, who do I have beating the Bills?
Oh, this may be their year. We'll see.
It's going to be interesting. And let me ask you a question. Growing up in that region, 4 Super Bowls consecutively, they lost to the Giants. That was a heartbreaker. The city of Buffalo still did a, a moderate celebration for them at City Hall to show their appreciation. They certainly didn't get one after losing 3 more. Um, what do you think it would be like if they actually did win it? And what would it mean to you just in the sense of NFL history?
If Buffalo won the whole thing?
Yeah, because just all the heartbreaks they went through.
Oh God, it'd be like the
you know,
Cubs.
you're
It'd be like the
yeah,
Cubs won the series.
yeah, because I know your old man. Your old man had to be feeling some kind of way when the Giants won that game.
Yeah, no, I mean it'd be like watching the Cubs win it or the
Let
Red
me
Sox.
ask you.
You know what I mean? Like it's just
Let me ask you a question.
a lot of history there.
I know exactly where I was when you know how they have the long commercial before the final play of the Super Bowl, especially when it's a field goal. They had a bunch
Mhm.
of commercials. Okay, so we know how it ended. Norwood, wide right. Um, what was your father's reaction? You guys were together, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
How did that go?
I mean, that was the first one.
Yeah, that was
So
the first.
it didn't hit as hard as the next 3. Let's put it that
So
way.
even though it was so damn close, the Bills left that with a good deal of hope, is what you're getting at, right?
Yeah. I think the next 3 were the hardest. And I think they hurt more than the first one.
For me, I was too young to remember the '86 season. Like I knew what was going on, that the Giants were in a Super Bowl, but I wasn't all the way into my fanhood yet. I jumped on the Giants in 1990, which was that same season when they beat the Bills. So uh, I had a jersey that said Giants across it. It was like a bootleg jersey, 5'6". That was my original LT jersey. Because back, it wasn't like that back then with all the merchandise and all the other shit now. And
Yeah.
I had those ridiculous, you know what pants I'm talking about, like that explosion of red, white, and blue that was
Mhm.
big in the early '90s. Yeah, I was rocking those, and I just had my head down, and I actually grabbed my grandmother's rosary and I just held that, and I didn't even want to. I didn't look at it, and then Mama Eunice and everybody was like going berserk in the living room with me, and then I realized that we won the Super Bowl. That was my first Super Bowl as a Giant fan. And my second Super Bowl memory. My first Super Bowl memory is 2 years before that. John Taylor via Joe Montana. That epic Super Bowl drive that beat the Cincinnati Bengals. We in my household were all rooting for the Cincinnati Bengals because Boomer Esiason was a Long Island legend, and we were rooting for him. But yeah, man, good show tonight, Bresky.
Sure.
I can't believe that we were talking for 2 hours and 23 minutes, but we'll see how this translates. I enjoyed the show, man. We really got into each and every game.
Yes, sir.
All right, Bretsky, hope to see you back on the show soon, especially if I defeat you in fantasy. And I will see you Sunday, dude.
Yes, sir.
For Brett, I am Richie. Thank you for watching. We are out. Peace.